Do you think Jim Courier has ever gotten
I don't think we're
waxed?
at all talking about this with Jim Courier.
Oh,
You're not. No, we're not
You
going to do
have
that.
to ask Jim if he's ever gotten waxed.
I mean, we're paying. We're paying for a long distance call.
All right, I'm throwing up another poll.
No, what is that? What are
Have
talking
you
about?
have you ever gotten waxed?
Jim Courier's on the phone line right now. Do you want to put him up right now?
Yeah, sure.
Has he been hearing this nonsense?
He's been hearing
this whole
the
time?
last minute and a half to 2 minutes of it.
JC, manscaping is not a subject for the lighthearted.
Rich, you've known me a long time.
Yes.
You do know that I am hirsute and continue to be.
Chris Command Center, do you know what the word hirsute means?
Yeah, because when you used to call me a hillbilly, you called me a hirsute hillbilly.
Yes.
Well, I don't know what it means.
It's hairy. It means hairy.
Oh,
It's you, sir, on your back.
Yeah, I'm very hairy.
Now, the number of tour professionals who do this sort of thing, what would be the percentage?
Well,
JC.
From a leg standpoint, I think it would be higher than you would think in the men's side. They do it like like those cyclists. They do it for massage purposes, or at least they claim.
Okay. All right.
But it's a little higher than you would think.
Okay. But you mean the figure, not the actual level of the scaping, is what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm no expert, but I am the Davis Cup captain, and there's a portion of my team that seems to be a little cleaner than nature intended.
That's breaking news right here on the Rich Eisen Show. That's all we do is make news. All right, hang on there, Jim. All right, we'll be back in just 1 minute break. We're going to take a break here. Jim Courier is calling in from Wimbledon. Back here on the Rich Eisen Show in a moment. He is one of America's finest to ever wind up on a tennis court, and he calls in from Wimbledon, where he's covering the event for the Tennis Channel and the BBC. He is Jim Courier. How are you, Jim?
I am doing great, Rich. How about you?
I'm doing fine. Before we get to the tennis, where were you when Iceland beat England? Did you see it?
I was right here in London, and it was a dark time for a nation that's going through quite a bit right now between Brexit and that.
I know. I mean, what is the mood there, actually?
Bitter, sour. That we have quite a few English working on the staff here in our TV studio, and things went a little slow the day after. Let's put it that way. Cameras didn't move quite as quickly. There was a lot of grogginess, a lot of depression. It's not good to lose to a country that's smaller than Orlando, Florida. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
from a population standpoint.
Yeah, and so we saw Federer in his post-match victory over Marcus Willis being asked if, even in losing to Federer, that Willis added a little bit of a stiff upper lip to Britain. We saw that. That was unbelievable.
Yeah,
you know,
no, they're having a rough time over here, to say the least, with the football. They're talking about how much money that they've spent, the federation, in the last few years for all these coaches that have come and gone. I mean, as you can imagine, it's just taken over the whole discussion for the most part, other than the politics, which is obviously pretty staggering at the same time.
Right. So outside of all that, what is the story at Wimbledon? Or is this the story?
Well, right now, the story of Wimbledon was Marcus Willis, and that was a great story, that Cinderella story. I don't know if you caught much of it, but it was a magical ride for this kid and his girlfriend, who's like a dental hygienist, and she wasn't supposed to be able to come to his first match, but literally her equipment broke on her at the office, or she broke it, and she was able to get there to watch him notch this victory, which was pretty remarkable. So a guy who had made, I think, $357 year to date professionally makes a check for nearly $60-something thousand, for winning 7 matches to 6 to qualify for Wimbledon and then 1 in the main draw. It was that's been the story so far. It's obviously early days here in the tournament.
Sure, but that is one of those feel goods. I mean, what does that say? I don't want to harp on it, but you're very well versed in this. What does that say for, I guess, American tennis in a way, that some guy can do what he did and then burst on the scene at Wimbledon? Is it when are we going to see somebody burst on the scene at Wimbledon with an American flag involved here, JC?
Well, we've actually had a really good day. We've won 5. We went 5 for 5 in the men's singles today, so it's been a great day for American men at the All England club led by John Isner, who finished off his first round match. And then we had Donald Young and Sam Querrey and Jack Sock and Steve Johnson all winning. So it's been a great day. And
That's
when
good.
you look at the Marcus Willis story, Rich, this guy was one of the top juniors about a decade ago. It's really as much of a story of a lost decade for him, and he kind of lost his way in the wilderness, had a few too many pints along the way, and then he's kind of finding his way back. So it's as much of a story of redemption for him as really anything else, which is also, I think, pretty sweet.
Well, then let's talk about the state of American men's tennis. Who do you think has a chance to break out here at this Wimbledon?
First of all, we're having a good run right now with Steve Johnson, who won. He's a USC Trojan. In fact, one of the most decorated college tennis players in history. Steve is from L.A., and he's won his 2 matches here, and he plays Grigor Dimitrov, and he just won a tournament actually last week, his first ATP title. So he's ranked up about 27 in the world right now, which is going to be his career high ranking. So that's good news. But I also think we need to dig a little bit deeper if you want to talk about guys that are likely to have a chance to win a major, which is probably what I'm guessing that's what you care about, right?
Well, you know what? I'm about the championships, Jim. You know what I mean? Like we could talk qualifying and we could talk first, second round, but you know what I mean? You
want to talk about hardware, right? Who's going to hold up the hardware?
Exactly. That's right. As a sportscaster, I'm mandated to use the phrase hardware. Yeah, exactly.
So we've got a great young generation of 18 and 19-year-old kids. Taylor Fritz is an 18-year-old, again from California, who lost in the first round here to Stan Wawrinka, but is already ranked in the top 65 in the world at 18. So he leads a generation of kids that looks like we're going to have 1 or 2 of them, I would think, to get into the top 10 here within the next 3 to 4 years. And that, for me, is the generation that I think will have more of a realistic shot at winning big titles, because they also won't have to deal with Federer, frankly, or Murray, and Djokovic will be on the tail end, because it's been tough sledding for anybody in this generation.
Jim Courier joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. How does Serena's draw look in Wimbledon?
It looks about the same as it always does when it's Serena. It's basically look in the mirror. Do you feel like winning the tournament or not? Because it's totally in her control, right? I mean, she owns the field if she plays 90% of her capability. Mm-hmm. So far so good. She looked pretty good in her first round match, and she plays an American named Christina McHale in her second round. But her draw looks pretty nice to me. I mean, I think she gets through.
And what's the vibe of the players about the Olympics and going to Rio? We've seen a lot of golfers pull out for concern of Zika. Are you hearing anything about that at Wimbledon right now, Jim?
I just saw the list today, actually, of players who were eligible to go and have been put up by their federations, and it looks like most of the top players are going. So I don't see any concerns for that right now. Our athletes are very international. They're used to traveling and going to various places. So I don't know that the Zika fear would necessarily put them off. But obviously, that's a big decision for everybody. It's a serious concern for sure. But it seems like everyone's going to go in spite of that.
All right, and give me a Davis Cup update. What do you got for me?
Davis Cup update. So U.S. versus Croatia in the quarterfinals the week after Wimbledon in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, yes.
So we're looking forward to that one. Croatia is good. Marin Cilic, who won the U.S. Open in 2014, will be on their team. And hopefully we'll have a healthy group and be ready to go. But we got a good win in Australia on the road in March, so we're excited about a home tie.
Okay. And so what sort of coach are you, Jim? Are you a rah-rah guy? Or what sort of motivational ploys do you use?
I'm a no-nonsense. I'm kind of the guy that you know me in the bar. You know I'm a no-nonsense guy in the bar. I'm a no-nonsense guy on the court with these guys. I'm not a rah-rah. I don't clap. I might throw a fist pump.
Okay.
Every now and then, like a good old-fashioned fist pump.
So are you
you'll get no golf claps from me.
Are you a Tory-like guy? And by that I mean where you can't tell if you're winning or losing, your expression doesn't change?
Yes. I do model myself after Joe, who I'm lucky enough to call I wouldn't call Joe a friend, but certainly someone that I've gotten to know a little bit and admire greatly in all seriousness. So, yeah, that would be the model that I go for sure.
That's you right there in a nutshell. And that, for my listeners and viewers, you could have easily passed him off as a friend. I would have totally believed that, you know?
Yeah. But Joe could have called me out next time I saw him.
Yeah, that's true.
And that wouldn't be cool.
So try that with Belichick. Just say it, because I'll believe it too. So do you model yourself after Bill Belichick, Jim? Do you do that?
I haven't gotten myself to wear a hoodie on the sidelines, but there's always Croatia.
That'd be fantastic. Do that, man. You should definitely do that.
Good.
Hey, Jim, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it.
You bet, Rich. Good to hear your voice. Give Suze my best.
Oh, same to you, bud. Same to you.
All right, buddy.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
There you go. That's Jim Carter.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.